There's something I know about you already. You've spent most of your life being the one people can count on. The stable one, the predictable one, the one who doesn't make waves, doesn't shock anyone, doesn't disrupt the flow. And you learned early, maybe painfully, that being predictable made you safe to others. Safe to approach. Safe to ask for favors. Safe to lean. Safe to take advantage of. If that resonates, then you're exactly who I'm talking to. Because the first Machiavellian rule you must break to survive society is this: always be consistent. Always be predictable. Never surprise anyone. On the surface, predictability looks like virtue. People say things like, "You're so reliable," or "I always know what you'll say," or "You're steady." You're grounded. But beneath that praise is a darker truth. Predictability makes you controllable. Let me tell you a story. A few years ago, I worked in a small creative team. There was a manager who loved that I was always calm and easygoing. If a last-minute project came up, I'd take it. If someone else messed up, I'd fix it. If tension rose in the room, I'd smooth it over. I thought this made me useful. But then one afternoon, I overheard him telling someone, laughing, "Don't worry. If anything happens, he'll handle it. He always does. He always does." That sentence hit me like a brick. It wasn't a compliment. It was ake. That day, I realized something most people never do. When people know your reactions, they can plan around you, and sometimes they plan to exploit you. Psychology backs this up. Robert Cialdini's research on influence shows that humans heavily rely on patterns to predict behavior. Once they recognize your pattern, your compliance becomes their shortcut. Dr. Stephen Hayes, the founder of acceptance and commitment therapy, also writes about psychological rigidity, the danger of repeating the same responses, even when those responses harm you. Here are 4 reasons predictability weakens you. 1. Predictability makes you emotionally inexpensive. Humans value what is scarce. When your reactions are always available and always the same, people subconsciously lower your worth. 2. Predictability kills your ability to negotiate. If people already know, you won't push back, won't question, won't ask for more. Why? Would they ever give you more? 3. Predictability creates dependency loops. Others adapt to your stability while you adapt to their chaos. You end up doing the emotional labor of an entire room. 4. Predictability freezes your identity. When you always behave the same way, you don't allow yourself to evolve. You become a character in someone else's story instead of the author of your own. Breaking this rule doesn't mean being erratic or impulsive. It means reclaiming strategic unpredictability, the ability to shift, pause, rethink, and respond on your terms, not on autopilot. Try pausing before you answer. Try saying, "Let me get back to you." Try setting boundaries people aren't expecting. The first time you break the pattern, you'll feel guilty. The second time, you'll feel powerful. The third time, people will start treating you differently. Not because you demanded respect, but because you stopped making disrespect convenient. And if you're wondering whether this shift really changes how others treat you, it does. People start thinking twice before assuming your yes. They begin noticing your silence. They stop taking your emotional labor for granted. It's almost like their entire mental map of you has to be And trust me, when people have to recalibrate around you, that's when your life truly starts shifting. This is the first rule you must break. But the second rule, the one society drills into you so deeply you barely notice it, that one is even more dangerous. You were taught this one young, maybe not in words, but in the looks people gave you when you wanted something too intensely, and the teasing you got for caring too much, in the judgment that followed your enthusiasm, in the subtle punishments for being too ambitious, too emotional, too driven, too hungry. Society loves people who try, but only when they try quietly. That's the second Machiavellian rule you must break to survive society. Never reveal your desires. Hide what you want at all costs. Because supposedly, if people know what you want, they can control you. If people know your dreams, they can mock you. If people know your intentions, they can block you. So you learn to dull your passion, minimize your goals, and smile like nothing matters. But here's the hidden truth. Concealing your desires doesn't protect you. It erases you. Let me tell you a story. Years ago, I was obsessed with starting a personal project. It was bold, demanding, and required vulnerability. But every time I mentioned it to someone, I could see their eyebrows lift. That subtle disbelief. You're really going for that? You think you can pull it off? The more I saw those reactions, the quieter I became. Eventually, I told no one. I even convinced myself I didn't really want it. Months later, I watched someone else launch the exact idea I had been hiding. And not only did they succeed, they received the admiration I had been afraid to even aim for. That moment hit me hard, because I realized I didn't fail due to lack of talent or effort. I failed because I hid. Psychology explains this well. 1. Desire is fuel. Dr. Kent Barage's research on the brain's wanting system shows that desire is what activates motivation. When you suppress desire, you literally shut off the neurological circuitry that moves you forward. 2. Desire creates emotional coherence. Carl Rogers emphasized the importance of congruence, aligning your inner truth with your external behavior. When you hide your wants, you fracture yourself. 3. Desire drives opportunity. People can't help you, collaborate with you, or support you if they don't know what you want. Hidden goals attract nothing. Expressed goals attract alignment. 4. Desire signals confidence. Social psychology shows that clearly expressed ambition increases perceived competence, not arrogance competence. But society fears open desire because desire is power, and powerful people don't stay easily controlled. Think about this. The people who changed the world, entrepreneurs, artists, thinkers, did not hide their wants. They declared them. They risked the humiliation. They dared to be seen wanting something. You might be thinking, but what if people judge me? Here's the truth you never hear. People don't judge your desire. They judge their own lack of desire when they see yours. Your ambition reflects their stagnation. Your passion reflects their apathy. Your hunger reflects their complacency. This is why society tells you to hide desire, because it disrupts the comfort of others. But you don't owe your life to other people's comfort. So how do you break this rule? You reveal your desires strategically, not submissively. You say, I want this. This matters to me. This is what I'm building. Not for validation, but for declaration. Let the world adjust. Let people misunderstand. Let people talk. You are not here to be unthreatening. You are here to be real. And when you start expressing your desires, your body changes, your posture changes, your energy changes. You stop shrinking. You stop apologizing. You start moving with a sense of inner direction that can't be faked. But this brings us to the third Machiavellian rule. A rule society disguises as maturity, but in reality, it destroys your self-respect more than anything else. There's a specific type of person who feels this rule. The deep is the kind who absorbs tension like a sponge, who internalizes conflict instead of expressing it, who swallows their pain because they were taught that confrontation is rude, dramatic, or unnecessary. If that's you, say you, and you've probably lived your whole life believing that being the calm one, the peaceful one, the quiet one makes you morally strong. But here's the third Machiavellian rule you must break if you want to survive society. Never confront anyone who wrongs you, because society secretly loves when you stay silent. Your silence maintains harmony. Your silence avoids awkwardness. Your silence protects other people's comfort at the cost of your self-respect. Let me tell you a story. I once had a friend who would constantly take small jabs at me in group settings. Nothing blatant, just subtle insults disguised as jokes. You're always overthinking. Relax, man. You're too sensitive. Come on. You wouldn't get it. Every time, the room laughed, and every time, I forced a smile I didn't feel. One night, driving home, I replayed the moment for the 100th time. My chest felt tight. My brain felt loud. But the thing hurting me wasn't his words, it was my silence. I had taught him, over time, that I was a safe target. That night, I realized something brutal. Your silence trains people how to treat you. Psychology backs this up. 1. Suppression increases stress. Dr. James Gross's research shows that suppressing negative emotions raises anxiety and damages relationships over time. 2. The brain tracks self-abandonment. Each time you allow disrespect without confronting it, your subconscious registers it as self-betrayal. 3. People escalate if unchallenged. Behavioral reinforcement studies show that behaviors repeated without pushback grow stronger. 4. Confrontation restores identity. According to Carl Jung, boundaries are a form of self-definition. Without them, the self dissolves. Confrontation isn't about starting a fight. It's about reclaiming your place in the world. It can be as simple as, "Don't talk to me like that. I'm not okay with that comment. Stop." Or even a calm stare that communicates more strength than a paragraph ever could. The first time you confront someone, your voice might shake, your hands might tremble, your heart might pound. That's not fear, that's your self-worth rebooting. And here's the truth. Some people will get uncomfortable. Some will apologize. Some will pull away. But every reaction will reveal exactly who deserves space in your life. Break this rule, and you stop being the quiet character in someone else's story. You become the author of your own. But confrontation is only half the story. There's another rule, one, even more subtle, more deeply conditioned, more socially rewarded, that keeps you exhausted, drained, and invisible. If you've ever felt drained after helping everyone else, if you've ever wondered why the people you support never seem to support you, if you've ever carried emotional weight that wasn't yours to carry, then you've lived under this rule your entire life. The fourth Machiavellian rule you must break is this: always put others before yourself. Society praises selflessness, but only when you're the one being selfless. People love your generosity, as long as they the ones receiving it. They adore your empathy, as long as they the ones demanding it. They celebrate your big heart, as long as it beats for their benefit. Let me tell you a story. For years, I had a habit of saying yes to everything. Need arrive? Sure. Need emotional support at 3 a.m. Absolutely, absolutely. Need me to take on extra work? Of course. Need me to solve a crisis that had nothing to do with me? I'm un italiano. I convinced myself that being endlessly available made me good. But one night, after stretching myself thin all week, I sat on my bed feeling numb. Not sad, not angry, just gone. It hit me that in constantly showing up for others, I had stopped showing up for myself. I had become the supporting character in everyone else's story. Psychology has a name for this: pathological altruism, a term coined by Barbara Oakley. It describes selflessness that becomes self-destruction. Here are a few reasons this rule harms you. 1. Availability decreases perceived value. Economic psychology shows that what is abundant is taken for granted. When you're always available, your time stops being respected. 2. Chronic giving creates emotional burnout. Dr. Christina Maslow's research on burnout reveals that constant helping without recovery leads to emotional exhaustion and loss of identity. 3. Self-sacrifice attracts takers, not givers. People who give too much become magnets for those who exploit without reciprocating. 4. Boundaries build respect. Overgiving erodes it. Carl Rogers emphasized congruence living, in alignment with your needs. When you suppress your needs, you lose authenticity. Breaking this rule doesn't mean becoming selfish. It means reclaiming your humanity. Because you cannot pour from an empty cup, and honestly, you shouldn't even try. Try this. Say no without apologizing. Protect your time like it's sacred. Recognize that your energy is a finite resource. Prioritize yourself the way you prioritize others. You'll be amazed at how quickly your life shifts. People who valued only your usefulness will distance themselves. People who value you will move closer. And once you understand this rule, the next one becomes impossible to ignore a rule. A rule society uses to keep you stuck in a version of yourself you've already outgrown. There's a moment in your life when you begin to feel it, that quiet pressure from the people around you, urging you to stay the same, to keep playing the role you've always played, to stay predictable, familiar, easy to categorize, not because they want you happy, but because your growth makes them uncomfortable. And that brings us to the fifth Machiavellian rule you must break. Never outgrow the identity others expect you to stay in. Every family, friendship group, workplace, and social circle assigns roles. You become the calm one, or the funny one, or the responsible one, or the listener, or the shy one, or the one who never causes problems. These labels might feel harmless, but they can quietly imprison you. Let me tell you a story. Years ago, the people around me knew me as the laid-back one, the chill friend, the guy who never had strong opinions, who went along with anything, who didn't rock the boat. And at first, I accepted the role because it kept things smooth. But over time, I started wanting more. More intensity, more purpose, more depth, more truth. And the moment I began changing, people noticed. Why are you being like this? You've changed. What happened to you? But what they really meant was, your evolution is inconveniencing me. Psychology explains this well through social identity theory, Tajfel and Turner. Groups remain stable by freezing each person into predictable roles. So, when you grow, you disrupt the group, isi equilibrium. Your progress becomes their discomfort. Here are 4 predictable reactions you'll face when you break this rule. 1. Minimization. People downplay your growth. That's not really you. It's just a phase. 2. Resistance te. Puspike. Why are you acting brand new? 3. Reassignment. They try to drag you back into who you used to be. You're still the same, deep down. 4. Withdrawal. Some people simply fall away because they cannot handle your transformation. Notice something important. None of these reactions have anything to do with your well-being. They're about the comfort of others. But here's the twist. Your identity isn't theirs to manage. Breaking this rule means giving yourself permission to evolve, even if it shocks people. It means rewriting your story, even if others prefer the old chapter. It means choosing your expansion over their expectations. Try this. Start acting like the version of yourself you're becoming, not the one people remember. Stan firmer. Speak luther. Change your habits. Build new goals. Let people adjust or leave. Either way, you'll be free. Because the truth is this. You don't owe anyone the outdated version of you. And once you break this identity cage, you unlock a new kind of momentum. The kind that makes your next evolution inevitable. But that evolution threatens another rule one society uses to keep everyone safely average. There's a lie buried so deeply in society that most people never notice it. A lie whispered through culture, family, tradition, and even your own inner critic. This is just the way things are. Don't question it. People like you don't get to change their circumstances. Be realistic. Stay where life put you. That's the 6th Machiavellian rule you must break. Submit to your environment. Let your circumstances define you, because if you accept this rule, you stay stuck in the same loop forever. Tasame Siti. Same habits, same mindset, same limitations, same narrative. Not because you lack potential, but because you were conditioned to accept confinement. Let me tell you a story. There was a period in my life when I felt trapped, not physically, but mentally. Every day looked the same. Same job, same conversations. Same silence. It felt like life had assigned me a script and expected me to recite it forever. But one day, I was sitting in a cramped break room at work, overhearing 2 coworkers laughing about how people like us never get anywhere special. And for some reason, that sentence snapped something in me. Not because it was cruel, but because I realized they believed it. They believed the environment owned them. They believed the world was already written. And worst of all, for a long time, so did I. Psychology explains this perfectly through learned helplessness, discovered by Martin. When you're exposed to enough limitations, financial, emotional, social, you start believing escape is impossible, even when doors exist. But here's what most people never learn. 1. Your circumstances are not fixed. Neuroscience shows the brain rewires itself through habit, intention, and new experiences. 2. Environment shapes behavior, but behavior reshapes environment. You can't change your entire life at once, but you can change the next step. 3. Identity expands with exposure. The more you see, learn, and experience, the bigger your internal world becomes. 4. Most limitations are inherited, not chosen. You absorb beliefs from parents, teachers, and peers who never escaped their own limits. Breaking this rule means rejecting the subtle hypnosis of realism. It means choosing movement where stagnation is expected. It means refusing to let your zip code determine your destiny. It begins small, reading something unfamiliar, meeting new people, taking a class, starting a side project, changing your routines, saving differently, thinking differently, acting before you feel ready. Every small shift disrupts the environment's power over you. Because here is the truth most people never hear. Your environment isn't a prison unless you accept the role of prisoner. And once you stop accepting that role, everything changes. Your confidence grows. Your identity expands. You begin seeing pathways where others see walls. But breaking this rule leads us straight to the final one. The rule that underlies everything. The rule that determines whether you remain controlled by society or rise above it entirely. And that final rule, we're about to dismantle it. This last rule isn't spoken. It's implied. It's embedded into the way people react when you start leveling up, when you get healthier, more ambitious, more confident, more self-respecting. Suddenly, people get nervous. They joke that you're trying too hard. They warn you to stay humble. They tell you not to get ahead of yourself. What they're really saying is, Dante, rise above the version of you that makes us comfortable. And that is the 7th Machiavellian rule you must break to survive society. Never exceed the power of your circumstances. Because the moment you rise, truly rise, you threaten the system that benefits from your compliance. Let me tell you a story. I once knew a guy who worked the same job for years. Quiet, skilled, reliable, but invisible. He dreamed of starting a business, but every time he spoke about it, people around him rolled their eyes. Be realistic. You're not that kind of person. Don't risk what you have. He listened for a long time, until one evening he told me, I think they're scared of what happens if I change. Was right. Because when you become powerful, powerful in your mindset, powerful in your goals, powerful in your boundaries, you stop being manageable. Psychology calls this status threat a phenomenon where people feel insecure when someone in their social circle grows beyond the established hierarchy. Your rise forces them to question their own stagnation. Your ambition magnifies their complacency. Your self-respect highlights their lack of it. Here are 4 reasons society subtly punishes personal power. 1. Power disrupts expectations. People rely on the roles you used to play. Break the role, and you break their comfort. 2. Power changes dynamics. When you stop being compliant, others lose control over you. 3. Power exposes insecurity. Your growth forces people to confront their own unfulfilled potential. 4. Power creates separation. Not physical separation, but psychological. People feel distance from those who refuse to remain small. But here is what they never tell you. Your power is not a threat. It is your birthright. Becoming powerful doesn't mean dominating others. It means mastering yourself. It's the discipline to choose what's right over what's easy. The courage to walk away from anything that shrinks you. The clarity to build a life that reflects who you become and not who you were, the audacity to rewrite the script society handed you. And when you break this final rule, everything transforms. You start moving like someone who knows they belong in the room. You speak like someone who respects their own voice. You make decisions like someone who refuses to betray themselves again. People may talk. People may misunderstand. People may drift away. Let them, because you're not living for their approval. You're living for your evolution. And if you've made it through all 7 rules, then hear me now. You are no longer the person society hoped you'd stay. You've stepped into awareness, into strength, into your own inner authority. You've broken the rules that keep people obedient, predictable, and powerless. You are becoming someone dangerous, not to orders, but to the systems that rely on your silence. And that's exactly who you were meant to be. If you're still here, listening, reflecting, feeling something shifting inside you, then you're not the same person who pressed play. And that matters more than you realize, because most people consume content to escape themselves. You listen to confront yourself. Most people avoid truths that could change their lives. You leaned into them. Most people stay asleep inside the roles, rules, and expectations society assigns them. You just broke 7 of the most powerful psychological chains humans carry. And now you're standing at the edge of a new identity. One built not from fear, not from conditioning, not from other people's comfort, but from your own clarity. Let me tell you something most people never hear. You should be proud of yourself. Not because you're perfect, not because you've figured everything out, but because you're awake. You're aware. You're paying attention to your inner world in a society built to distract you from it. That alone puts you in the rarest percentage of people on the planet. You've dismantled the rule of predictability, reclaiming your right to respond instead of react. You've confronted the rule of hidden desire, allowing yourself to want openly and live authentically. You've broken the rule of silent suffering, learning to defend your boundaries with presence and truth. You've abandoned the rule of self-sacrifice, finally choosing yourself with courage instead of guilt. You've shattered fixed identity, outgrowing the version of you that others felt comfortable with. You've challenged your circumstances, refusing to be defined by the environment you were born into. And finally, you've stepped into a kind of personal power that society quietly warns you not to embrace. Do you understand what it means to break all of that? It means you're no longer operating on autopilot. You're no longer a character in someone else's narrative. You're no longer shrinking to fit into spaces you've outgrown. You're no longer apologizing for evolving. You're stepping into your life with both eyes open. And yes, people might question it. They might misunderstand it. They might feel threatened by it, but that's only because your transformation exposes their stagnation. Keep going anyway. Your power is not a danger. Your awareness is not a burden. Your growth is not a betrayal. Your evolution is not arrogance. Your desire for more is not delusion. It is you becoming who you were meant to be long before the world taught you to dim yourself. So as this closes, I want you to remember one thing. You don't survive society by obeying its hidden rules. You survive, thrive by breaking them with intention, wisdom, and unwavering self-respect. This is the moment your life begins to shift. Let it walk forward knowing you're done playing small, done staying silent, done hiding your depth, done shrinking to make others comfortable. You are powerful now, and the world is going to feel it.